This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, consent for Dunedin's current landfill site in Green Island is set to expire in 3 years, but there's public opposition to one of the proposed sites. A specialist Volkswagen mechanic in Dunedin shows no sign of retiring at 80 years old. And Matariki has been celebrated in Wanaka with a hangi and bonfires for locals and visitors. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Sophie Morris. Consent for Dunedin's current landfill site in Green Island is set to expire in 3 years' time, and the City Council is urgently looking for an alternative. However, the Council's preferred option of a landfill in the hills near Dunedin Airport is encountering community opposition.
About 120 people filled Brighton Community Hall on Monday night to discuss the Dunedin City Council's proposal of creating a new rubbish dump in the hills near Dunedin Airport after the consent for the current landfill site at Green Island expires in 3 years' time. Saddle Hill Community Board Chairman Scott Wetherall says the new site may have been okay when it was suggested 30 years ago, but it isn't anymore.
But you know, the close proximity to the international airport, there's one, potential bird strike. What does it mean for our environment in terms of putting a rubbish tip at the top of a hill? There will be potentially some leachates coming down, and where does that go? Well, it comes down to Brighton Beach. We know that's a high recreational space as well as seafood collection, you know, so there's a whole lot of factors there. What does that look like?
Wetherall says the latest landfill proposal was snuck through the second generation district plan, and he's hoping for a thorough consultation process involving the wider community.
We want the people of Brighton, the people of Dunedin to have their say and to be able to have their say. Going through the Otago Regional Council resource consent hearing, we want it to be an open, transparent process, like I say, and that all parties have the ability to communicate and submit to that, not just a nearby affected residents kind of approach.
He says it's a good sign that council staff members Sandy Graham and Simon Drew were able to answer questions at the meeting.
And we know that they are somewhat limited about what they can say tonight, and I understand that, I appreciate that, but coming out, that shows a commitment to listen to our community, which is what we want.
The DCC says the now controversial landfill site is not the only option councillors will consider at a meeting next month. And residents are also invited to bring their concerns directly to the council. In Dunedin, the South Today.
A woman who scaled 2 fences to flee a COVID-19 quarantine hotel has admitted to the escape but may avoid conviction. 43-year-old Suzanne Marie Derritt appeared in the Dunedin District Court this morning after her case was transferred from Auckland. Seen here covering her face as she left the court, Derritt pleaded guilty to a charge of failing to comply with a COVID-19 order, a charge which carries a maximum penalty of 6 months imprisonment. In court, Police Prosecutor Tim Hambleton said diversion may be considered since she had no previous convictions. The judge adjourned the case until Friday for the diversion process to be undertaken. Dunedin mechanic Ken Berry has just turned 80 years old and has no plans to retire. He's been a Volkswagen specialist for roughly the same number of years as their famous Beetle was in production.
The current retirement age in New Zealand is 65 years old. However, people can choose to work longer, and having just turned 80, Dunedin mechanic Ken Berry shows no signs of hanging up his tools just yet.
You're a long time dead, so I don't know what I'm going to... I don't like to be sitting around doing nothing.
Berry still works full-time, but admits to working just 9 to 5 during winter. He's in the same workshop where he began working in 1977, but started working on cars after school roughly 20 years before that.
When I was at Scouts, the Scout Master asked me one day what I was going to do, and I told him I wanted to be a mechanic, and he said, well, we need an apprentice, so he put my name down, and I used to go there after school on my bike and watched the guys working and talked to them and had a good grounding before I even actually started with them.
His workshop is a wonderland of Volkswagen parts, with all manner of bits and bobs stacked around the place. As he's technically at retirement age, he admits to being a bit choosy about what he does with gearboxes and engines.
Some of it now is too hard to do. I have to, if somebody wants a gearbox out of a combi or something, they can take it out themselves and give it to me nice and clean, and I'll do it for them.
He's known as the V-dub man to many people in the south, and over the years has worked on a dazzling array of vehicles. Some chopped up, some put back together, and some totally rebuilt. While at 80 years old, he can still do most of the tasks required of a mechanic, he really isn't thinking about retiring just yet.
I'll review the situation at 90.
He's also a keen V-dub driver. His current pride and joy is one of the last Beetles made in Germany, which he rebuilt between 1996 and 2012. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Fire officers are saying there appears to have been an above-average number of house fires around Dunedin this winter. People are being advised there are simple steps to reduce the risk of a fire during winter months.
There's been at least 6 significant house fires in and around Dunedin in the last month and a half. The latest was in Middleton Road in Corstorphine on Sunday morning, where a smoky blaze left this house as uninhabitable. Other fires have included a prominent blaze in the former Wolfton and Russell building in South Dunedin, plus fires in Concord, Brockville, Port Chalmers and Mosgiel. Further afield, this house in Mataura's 4th Street was also damaged by fire a month ago. Fire investigators say during winter months people should be aware of the need to clean chimneys, not having heaters too close to anything, and keeping an eye on cooking. People are also advised to make sure they have good insurance in case of a disaster. In Dunedin, the South Today.
People in Wanaka got the chance to celebrate Matariki on the lakeshore on Saturday night. With 2 large bonfires and a koha hangi, the event attracted crowds not dampened by COVID-19.
Thousands of people got together on the shores of Lake Wanaka to celebrate Matariki. Now in its 9th year, the event is an uncommercialised occasion where locals and visitors can celebrate the promise that winter will eventually turn into spring.
It's a community festival in the real sense. Like, nobody sells anything, there's nothing, you can't buy anything here. And even the hangi is koha.
While Matariki is sometimes referred to as the Maori New Year, organiser Richard Elvey says the event is for all to enjoy.
Where I grew up was in East London in Hackney, and it's extremely multicultural, and everybody just is their culture and does their thing and loves who they are. And I think Matariki's an awesome thing, and like, why shouldn't everybody enjoy it? And yeah, we've got the ability to do it, so we do.
2 driftwood fires were almost redundant in what were mild spring-like conditions, and while the local council does help cover costs, the event also relies on public goodwill.
To be honest, an awful lot of in-kind and love, a lot of support. People come here doing stuff for free, they do stuff at costs. Even the fireworks guy doesn't charge us for his time, we literally just pay for the fireworks, so that's how we pull it off, basically.
Despite the absence of tourists, the crowd size was estimated to be similar to previous years. In Wanaka, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today. We meet the siblings aiming to be top gun in South Otago, and we hear attitudes towards the upcoming national election from the South.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life, Tuesdays, 7:30.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
You've seen us in the street, now find us online. Check out shopon.org.nz. We have all sorts of treasures, from retro and vintage clothing to antiques, homewares and accessories. New items added every week. We're open 24/7.
Hi, Lindsay Campbell. We're back in Invercargill again. We're here for a month. We've got a men's fashion clearance, and up to 70% off. We're right beside the Motorcycle Mecca. Check them out too. Jackets, lovely knitwear, scarves, hats, you name it, we'll keep you warm. Come and see us at the Menswear Fashion Clearance pop-up.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
That's the Alex Campbell Menswear pop-up store in Invercargill.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality, stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
Wrens are Otago's painting, tiling and plastering experts. Offering a free measure and quote, Wrens is a name you can trust to get the job done right. Call Wrens today on 477 9384 or visit wrens.co.nz.
Do you know Youth Grow in North East Valley? It's an awesome plant nursery where young people can work and learn life skills. You can now order your vegetable seedlings, herbs, bulbs and shrubs over the phone or by email. Either pick up your order on Norwood Street in North East Valley or they can deliver to you. Look for Youth Grow Garden Centre on Facebook or visit youthgrow.org.nz. Happy gardening!
Heaven Sent Pet Cremations knows that losing a pet is like losing a family member, and we have many special ways for you to keep their memory dear to your heart. From caskets, remembrance pendants to remembrance fairs. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Welcome back. The sport of competitive shooting is alive and well in South Otago, with the siblings of the Hilliand family all aiming to be Top Gun.
Patience, aim and focus. The Willis family siblings from Hilliand in South Otago all have a passion for the winter sport of indoor target shooting. The older siblings, 13-year-old Jessie and 12-year-old Sasha, know they have to keep improving, as their younger sisters, 10-year-old Erica and 8-year-old Amelia, have them firmly in their sights.
We did some in Leaston, so kind of have some practice. It's fun and I just enjoy it.
Yeah, it's alright. Obviously I'm a bit better than them because, you know, older and but more experienced, but yeah, it's still quite fun.
Because I shoot the targets and I get better and better.
Their father, Jason Willis, says introducing the kids to sports like small bore target shooting is helping the children develop character and strength.
Building up their self-confidence and believing in themselves that they can do it. Even if they don't want to do it at the start, give them a try and see how they get on with it.
The family shoots at the indoor range at Hilliand, and club president Robert Bennington says the organisation is open to all comers and they make sure everyone learns safety first.
They get instruction on the basics of gun safety, how to do it safely, what to expect when you see a firearm, how to use them, and how to respect them and enjoy using them in a safe way.
Bennington says if these youngsters stay on target, they could join fellow club members representing the country at international competitions.
It goes to the Olympics, yeah. In South Otago, there are, I think there's 3 members that are in national teams just now.
The .22 calibre rifles are quite weighty for youngsters to hold up, so the younger shooters are allowed to rest the gun barrels on a sack while they take aim. In South Otago, the South Today.
Visual journalist Craig Baxter and Otago Daily Times reporter Daisy Hudson travelled through the south recently to gauge attitudes towards the upcoming national election. Tonight we play you the third of 5 instalments of their journey.
So we've arrived in Lumsden, our first stop in Southland on the road trip. We're about halfway through. Lumsden's kind of been in the news quite a bit in the last couple of years, particularly around the maternity centre. It's very much a rural stronghold, so we'll be sure the people here will have a lot to tell us.
Locally, I guess, I mean, we've had things like the Lumsden Maternity Centre and all that kind of stuff, which has sort of made the national platform. And I mean, the outcome of that wasn't that flash either. So yeah, I think if you ask anyone around here what's the most polarising sort of issue between government and our community, then that's probably right up there with that. And, yeah, it's sort of been quite frustrating.
Hamish Walker was, a really big part of the maternity centre fight back.
Yeah.
How do you think people in the community are feeling about what he did and what's happened with him having to step down the election?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of people out there that sort of feel the same way that I do, sort of sad for the situation. And I mean, no one knows the full story as to what happened, and I mean, you get the media sort of output and stuff, and there's 2 sides to every story. But I mean, the end result is we've lost a young, promising MP that was he sort of had what I was talking about before, that connection with the community, and I mean, he did a hang of a lot of kilometres all the time. He was travelling around, interacting with people, and then fighting the fight.
What do you think people are sort of looking for in whoever steps in and takes over after the election?
I mean, I guess integrity would be the word, but someone that actually represents this area as well, and the core values of what a Southlander is. I think that's what's going to get the kind of votes, that kind of down to earth, willing to speak up and step up, and I think Hamish actually had that. I think he's just made a bit of stuff up, which is a real shame.
And you can see the next instalment of their journey tomorrow online at ott.co.nz. After the break on the South Today, the Waitaki District Council reaffirms its relation with local iwi, and we check out tomorrow's weather.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life, Tuesdays, 7:30.
Heaven Sent Pet Cremations knows that losing a pet is like losing a family member, and we have many special ways for you to keep their memory dear to your heart. From caskets, remembrance pendants to remembrance spheres. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today.
Shall I make some scones?
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality, stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
Do you know Youth Grow in North East Valley? It's an awesome plant nursery where young people can work and learn life skills. You can now order your vegetable seedlings, herbs, bulbs and shrubs over the phone or by email. Either pick up your order on Norwood Street in North East Valley, or they can deliver to you. Look for Youth Grow Garden Centre on Facebook or visit youthgrow.org.nz. Happy gardening!
Wrens are Otago's painting, tiling and plastering experts. Offering a free measure and quote, Wrens is a name you can trust to get the job done right. Call Wrens today on 477 9384 or visit wrens.co.nz.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Step into Shop on Carrot and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Ah, TV, our favourite babysitter. But it can be tough keeping up with what our tamariki are watching. Luckily, the Broadcasting Standards Authority has made some smart changes to the classification labels. Ooh! Plus changes to the time of day certain rated shows will air and awesome new parental lock features, meaning your babysitter's job is safe. Find out more at safeviewing.co.nz.
Welcome back. The Waitaki District Council has reaffirmed its relation with local iwi. Local leaders met on Friday to sign an updated agreement acknowledging that the two parties will meet several times per year and have a clear consulting process.
The Waitaha Tai Whenua o Waitaki Trust Board and Waitaki District Council met on Friday to reaffirm their relationship. This included signing an agreement between the two parties, which Waitaki Mayor Gary Kershaw says was first signed in 2011 and since then has been updated and reaffirmed every few years.
It's important because it actually acknowledges that we do have a relationship with the people who identify themselves as Waitaha. Just as much as we also have other agreements around the community as well.
The agreement means that the two parties will meet several times a year and have a clear consulting process.
It makes sure that we're fulfilling our obligations, but also working together with an important part of our community.
The Te Waitaha iwi say they believe they've been in the South Island since about 800 AD. In Awamaru, the South Today.
Now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Consent for Dunedin's current landfill site in Green Island is set to expire in 3 years, but there's public opposition to one of the proposed sites. A specialist Volkswagen mechanic in Dunedin shows no signs of retiring at 80 years old. And Matariki has been celebrated in Wanaka with a hangi and bonfires for locals and visitors. And time now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Barry.
Hello, Sophie.
Good evening.
A woman who scaled a 1.5 metre fence or wall to escape COVID-19 quarantine may yet avoid conviction. She was in court this morning. Archaeologists have explored 3 historic sites in Fiordland's Dusty Sound for the first time, so that's pretty interesting. Right. Some of the sites are where Cook's Endeavour was moored off and a variety of other ones, so really interesting potential discoveries there, so we'll look out for the results of that. And not everybody was happy about it, but the Dunedin City Council has decided to press ahead with a single transferable vote system. So STV, the one we currently have, so they've voted to keep that. Full report in tomorrow's ODT, of course, but there's a potential there may be a poll which could determine something else. So it's not all over yet, but that's as it is now. In fresh, we look at whole foods and have a range of interesting recipes for the whole family.
Lovely. Well, thank you, Barry.
Thank
All
you.
of that and much more in tomorrow's ODT. And time now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Starting with the city view, the Robert Burns statue and Dunedin's Octagon. Looking at the situation, mostly dry for the next few days, but expect thick high cloud. Breezy northerly winds will be cool on the Otago coast, but quite mild elsewhere. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport are looking at cloudy skies, showers and 13 degrees. Across to the northeast, Nelson and Blenheim can expect cloudy skies and showers with 13 degrees. In Canterbury, it will be cloudy with a chance of showers. Kaikoura heads for 13 degrees, Christchurch 12 and Ashburton 13. To the southern towns, plan for fresh northeasterlies and some high cloud across the region. The Catlins should reach 10 degrees, Balclutha 11, Lumsden 13 and Gore 12. In central, you can expect moderate northerlies and high clouds. Wanaka, Queenstown, Alexandra and Tiano should reach 11 degrees. To the northern towns on the coast, Timaru and Oamaru can expect light northeasterlies with some high cloud, 12 degrees for Timaru, 11 for Oamaru. Inland, those in Twizel and Omarama can plan for moderate northerlies, high cloud and 11 degrees. In Dunedin, high cloud tonight with an overnight low of 7. Cloud increasing and lowering tomorrow with fresh, breezy, cold northeasterlies, a high of 9 and a low of 8. Warmer on Thursday with thick high cloud and moderate northerlies, a high of 15 and a low of 8. And in Invercargill, high cloud tonight with an overnight low of 5. Mostly fine tomorrow, looking at a high of 14 and a low of 6. Similar on Thursday with fresh breezy northerlies, a mild high of 16 and a low of 7. That's all for our news this Tuesday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz or follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.